My ultimate goal is to build the kindest community in academia so that people have some place to turn to and know that they can always fit in, or at least feel a little bit like they can fit in. That's what the Reciprocity Project is about. I thought it would be this thing where you would be able to get feedback on your writing because I thought it was a technical problem that I was facing. But as I've done this for many years now, so for those of you who don't know me, I am Professor Dave Maslach, and I've been building this Reciprocity Project. I thought the issue was my inability to write and, all of these things that are really just technical issues. But what I've come to realize, it's actually a problem that we face is that there's a lack of kindness and civility within the academic game. And it's not just kindness and civility towards others, but it's ourselves often, where we're thinking that we are somehow imperfect or that we need to perfect something in some way. And as I've been building this thing, good morning, how are you? As I've been building this thing, I begin to realize, what would it be? What would it look like to build kindness? And I think a huge part of it is not worrying about the performance aspect of things. And if you read up, if you start looking at things, you'll realize everybody is worried about that, of how they perform. And if you worry about how you perform, you're often going to do things that are not good for other people. If you're doing things because you want to play, because you just want to hang out and you want to participate in some sort of way, then you stop behaving in that sort of way. So my ultimate goal is to think about how we can get us to feel better at any given moment. And when you are thinking not great about yourself, that you have some place to turn to. And I try to record, if you look at the videos, you see that there is a wide variance. And I'm trying to record all of the experiences that I go through. And I try to record the things that happen in the morning, like today, like right now, when I feel good. And the things that are in the evening where I'm mentally drained and I don't feel good. And I feel like I want to quit. And that happens a lot, where I feel that way. And I feel isolated and alone. I often work by myself repeatedly. And so I want to record these experiences so other people know. And not only that they have some place to turn to know that they're not the only one, that they're not alone in the situation, but for other people that are looking from the outside in, that they can say, hey, wait a minute, there is something going on here. This is more challenging than I thought. And I think the big misunderstanding, there's a bit of a cultural misunderstanding right now where people don't really understand what it means to do this whole research thing and to do the academic thing. And they're blaming, professors and researchers for all of this sort of strange things that are going on in society. And what you don't realize that it's a hard process. And we all struggle with it. And we're all one part of the puzzle. And if I can change that, if I can get people to feel normal, if I can be one part of the puzzle where somebody watches this from around the world and they realize, I kind of get it. And they do something that will increase the kindness of other people around them, or they'll give somebody the wink and the nod or the benefit of the doubt, or they'll just act a little bit more kindly to somebody else. I don't even know what that means. to be honest, but I know what the feeling is. I know it's a little bit more love to other people. I know that's a squishy thing. I don't even know what that is. But I know it's thinking about other people. It's thinking about your own self and saying, how can I treat these two particular entities, somebody else, a little better? So whether it's taking a little bit of the seriousness out of situations, whether it is smiling a little bit, whether it's working really hard to try to do the right thing, even when it's difficult to do. All of these things, I think, are genuinely important aspects. I don't know what those are, but I know when I do that, when I think in my head, this is what I'm going to try to be like. I want to be a little bit more kinder when the world is full of sharp edges and I don't feel like doing this. I want to encourage other people to get back up and to do things that just don't fit in with the norm. If I can think and do those particular things, I behave a little bit better. And I try to do things just a little bit more kindly to other people. I want you to really think about that. How can you do things that will treat yourself better? And if you treat yourself better, as I ultimately think that's often the root of what we are dealing with, is that if you treat yourself better, then you'll treat other people a little better as well. Because one of the troubles that we deal with are things like isolation, or things where we're constantly being evaluated. And I think like this every day. I am very sad every day inside. But I think about how can I possibly change that and what might that look like because of this isolation. And it means trying to build a kinder community where people just try to care about other people. That somebody out there will see this and they'll change their mind about some action that is going to be really rough on somebody else and try to work at it. Where you learn to have quiet confidence inside to get back up and do it again, regardless of what's going on. Or you learn to quit and to go someplace else, which is a completely viable alternative to go do and pursue things that make you feel better every day. And I want you to think about that. It's your life. We actually don't have many years to live on this earth. And so why aren't you actually pursuing it? Why aren't you doing things that make you feel a little bit better, more encouraged? And why aren't you trying to help other people do the same thing? It's a short time we have. Go do those wonderful things that you've always wanted to do and to explore. And stop worrying about all of the things that are going on that make you not feel so good. Man, that is hard advice for all of us to take and to think about. But I think it's absolutely worthwhile for us to pursue. And while, according to the academic game, I probably will never be able to put my fingers on and measure kindness and love and all of those things that I am supposed to be able to do because that's what a good scientist does. I'm hoping that we can have more of that, even though I don't even know what it is. I think it's important, and I think we really need to strive for that in the communities that we're part of.